So, hello everyone. I will be starting this new series that has just started, so I'm going to get in on the ground floor, starting with this first chapter. I have chosen this series because it has the author of two of my top 10 manga series, one writing it. I have faith in him to write at least a decent story, even though he is also writing One Punch Man at the same time right now. This series is illustrated by Azuma Kiyotaro. I haven't read any of his other series, but at least from this chapter, I'm really liking it. So now with the background of the series out of the way, let's begin. Our introduction to the series starts with a monologue about one's natural enemy, showing us different scenarios in nature where animals find themselves helpless against their predator, and is of course foreshadowing for the later part of this manga. We then open up on a king basically explaining the premise of the series, that humanity is near extinction and that they have trained 47 heroes to fight against the 47 demon kings. And then hopefully afterwards they can all band together to destroy the final great demon king. We get introduced to a few of the heroes, with all of them having pretty decent designs, most of them being pretty confident that they will defeat their demon king. But we then get the spotlight shown on our main character, Hollow, and his support fairy, Pain Pain. I'm pretty sure it's pronounced Pane, but I really don't want to keep saying that, so I'm just going to pronounce it as Pain until we get an anime or something of that nature. Hollow being pretty nervous about the whole ordeal, which I can't blame him for, honestly, does get reassurance from another hero, Ario. Then after they get all acquainted, the king orders them to go forth, and we jump to 6 months in the future. We then see Hollow with his party getting a letter that many of the heroes have failed in their mission to defeat the other demon kings. His party voices their worries, and Pain straight up starts packing up his stuff, believing they have no chance in defeating the demon king. Hollow tells them they can leave, but he will fight alone if he has to. But his party, seeing how bright his sword of courage is shining, get reinvigorated, and they go off together to fight the Demon King.
We're all gonna die.
They actually get into the castle with no resistance and make it to the throne room, with the Demon King Jachi waiting there for them, along with all of the other demons. He assures them that none of the other demons are going to fight them, and for them to show him a good time. The mage tries to show out and use his most powerful attack and gets no-diffed by Jachi, and the others get neg-diffed just by being in his presence. Hollow then charges at him, and Jachi is actually impressed with him, complimenting his sword skills. He catches his sword without Hollow realizing at first he tore his arm off. And I was wondering at this point if this was going to be one of those manga where we see the first characters get killed for the real hero to come in, because Hollow is just getting destroyed. Jachi then taunts him to strike him, and he won't dodge, so Hollow strikes him, and his sword breaks.
Well, shit.
Jachi then calls him pathetic, kicks him out, and leaves him to drown in the river.
Then everyone died. The end.
As Hollow is drowning, he has a flashback to his childhood, with his older brother Zaybi trying to teach him about summoning magic, but Hollow wasn't really interested. Hollow then wakes up bandaged, and Pain tells him a mage patched him up, that mage being his brother Zaybi, and he explains while the heroes were doing their mission, the mages had a plan as well, which involved making a summoning circle all across the planet. But before he can explain more, they are attacked by more demons. As they are being attacked, they are then saved by some kind of futuristic sci-fi soldiers who easily dispatch of the demons who are attacking them. Pain and Zaybi are overjoyed seeing how powerful they are, and explain their plan was to summon another world from another dimension to help them. But as the soldiers introduce themselves, they tell them that they are in the exact same situation, with mankind being pushed to the brink of extinction. Alright. Now with all that done, let's dive into this a little more. Now I do like the premise for the story of humanity having its own natural predator because, in real life and in most fantasy settings, humanity is the apex predator or just the dominant species in the setting, with the evil forces threatening that seat at the top. And from what we see here, humanity is pretty fucked. Honestly, with most of their heroes probably being low diff like Hollow was. And I was surprised they had a plan B with the mages of the world trying to call in help from another world, but we see how that went. From what I have seen from Hollow so far, I like what I'm seeing. Him being broken from his fight with Jachi, losing his team and his arm, and now feeling inferior to his brother since he felt he was useless when the low-level demons attacked. And speaking of his team, what made them think they were ready to fight Jachi, since many of the other heroes are getting reported as dead or failed in some way? I would think you would over-prepare for it at this point. And they had trouble surviving in the wild against random monsters, with most likely all the demons in Jachi's castle being more powerful than they were. Hollow, I appreciate your heroic heart, but that was just a dumb move, my guy. Even with the Sword of Courage, which is honestly an impressive weapon, being powered by willpower, as soon as Jachi started to demean and intimidate him, it became useless. And lastly, I would say Pain Pain is fine for me right now. I could see him being annoying in the future, but as a support character for Hollow, he's alright. For now, this series looks like it does have a lot of potential, and I am planning to stick with the series until the end, since it is being written by one of my favorite manga authors, and I have the utmost faith in him. I would love to know what you guys are thinking of the first chapter, and how the future of the story is going to go. I will always be looking down in the comments, and I would love to talk with you guys about the series. So remember to like and subscribe, and that's about it. Alright guys, I will see you guys later. Bye guys.